Hello, babies. If you're wearing plaid, time to change your shirt because my entire crew is wearing plaid. Welcome back to the Pach Attack. All right, we have a question from Twitter from @Joshua J. Hicks. How does Microsoft benefit from waiting to announce next gen? Wouldn't it give away some of the market? Okay, I gotta say, I'm a pretty highly educated guy. I have 4 degrees. I did really well in school, so that's why I have 4 degrees, because that's what I'm good at. Not good at much else, but I'm really good at school. The lowest grade I got out of all those 4 degrees was marketing. I don't really get marketing. I have to admit it. Sorry, just suck at it. So I'm gonna answer this question, which is essentially a marketing question. But as long as Microsoft has a competitive console in the marketplace around the same time as when Sony has theirs out, they're probably not going to give up any market share. The timing of the announcement of the console is purely marketing. And again, this is a guy who got a B- in marketing. I do not get marketing. But I will say, Sony announced on February 20th, and Microsoft is probably going to announce sometime in late April to early June. So Sony has at least a 2-month head start, and Sony's going to get a lot of press. That's great. So the only thing anybody's going to think about is how great the PS4 is for the next 2 months. Then Microsoft's going to announce, and Microsoft, I think, will very deliberately trash the PS4. I think they're going to say, whatever Sony did, ours is better. I don't know if that's true, but I think Microsoft's going to say it. And then they'll have a couple of months, and at the same time, Sony's going to defend the PS4 and say, nope, we're pretty good too. And you're going to be highly educated by the time E3 rolls around on the differences and the similarities between the 2 consoles. And you're going to compare both of those to the Wii U. And come holiday, which remember is another 4 months later after E3, you're going to be able to make a decision as to what console you want. So Sony is giving you something like 7 months to figure it out. Microsoft's giving you something like 4 or 5 months to figure it out. You're still going to have several months to determine which console you want to buy. So as far as giving away, some of the market, only to the people who pre-order the console. And I think that is an issue, because some people are going to put their pre-order in to make sure they get it. And once you've pre-ordered, if you actually do follow through with it, you pretty much made your decision. You're going to buy one or the other. Fortunately, I don't think the pre-order numbers are going to be 10 million. I think they're going to be 500,000. It's not going to be that many, because most of the retailers aren't going to take orders for more consoles than they actually know they're going to get. And again, I think most savvy consumers are going to wait until they can make an intelligent decision before jumping on one versus the other. So the answer to your question from a guy who admittedly got a B- in marketing is, I don't think they're giving up anything, but that might be why I got a B- in marketing. From @SurrealAdrian, Pack, with the rumors of Destiny's pricing model, will next gen mean saying goodbye to conventional pricing? I like these black and white questions. No, I'm not even sure what the rumors of Destiny's pricing model are. Poor Eric Hirschberg had to get up at the Destiny unveil and address the rumors started by me that Destiny would be a subscription service, and then refute that and say absolutely not, just so we can make a point of Mr. Hirschberg's credibility. And I like Eric Hirschberg, so if you're watching, I don't mean this as any form of disrespect. But Eric Hirschberg said in the same press conference that he really didn't know anything about the next generation consoles, and he was looking forward to the console unveil so he could see what all the features were. And then I believe four days later or something, or 5 days later, there he was on stage at the PS4 unveil talking about how cool the specs were and how that was perfect for Destiny. So Eric has proven that he's willing to stretch the truth when he's making a presentation. He said he doesn't know anything about the subscription pricing model that I brought up first. I am confident that Activision, who I believe is for real the best run, as far as from a business perspective, the best run video game publisher of all of them. The management team is absolutely laser focused on creating value for its shareholders. They are great. I'm telling you, if you're a capitalist, you should love Activision. I am convinced Activision will figure out a way to extract as much money from your wallet with Destiny as is humanly possible. So the real question is, what is that pricing model? Mr. Hirschberg has said, not a subscription. Okay, it's not. You're gonna have to pay a periodic fee for access to periodically new content. Maybe they're not gonna say you have to pay us $5 a month. Maybe they're gonna say you have to pay us $1 every time you play, which isn't really a subscription. It's actually something else, it's pay to play. Maybe they're gonna say you can play on the same level forever for 60 bucks, but if you want the new content we just added this week, it's $5, and they're gonna add content every month. So it's not really $5 a month because you choose how long you want to play on that level, but they won't let you go from level 10 to level 20 and pay only $5 for level 20. You have to pay for each level in between. So I think it's going to be a subscription-like service. It is clear, based upon the reveal that Destiny will be always connected, always on, that this is a dynamic environment. Dynamic environment means constantly changing and means it costs money to provide a constantly changing environment. It doesn't make business sense to build a great game, sell it to you for 60 bucks, and then have an ongoing obligation to users to keep adding to the environment unless you get paid for that, because it costs money to keep adding to the environment. So I am telling you right now, I am certain of this. If you don't like it, deal with it. Activision's going to figure out a way to charge you for all of their costs of keeping that environment continually updated. They do it now through DLC that comes out periodically on things like Call of Duty. I think this is going to be not downloadable, so it won't be DLC. It'll be server-based fixes, and I think you're going to pay for access to that server somehow, whether it's on a pay-per-view, a pay-per-level, or a monthly subscription. I think that they're going to offer some way for you to give them more money, and I think you're going to pay it because Bungie really is that good and the game really is going to be that good. Oh, I didn't answer the question though. Are we saying goodbye to conventional pricing? No way, no how. Most games aren't going to be persistent world, constantly evolving environments. Most games are going to continue to be single player, co-op, or regular multiplayer online. So games like FIFA, you're not going to play FIFA 13 and then never buy another FIFA because the environment continues to change. They're going to sell you FIFA 14, FIFA 15, FIFA 16. Games that come out every 3 years like Battlefield, every 2 years like Battlefield, they're going to continually change. I think they'd love an online subscription, but I think the model's going to continue to be $60 game, $15 DLC, and they're going to give you 4 or 5 map packs, maybe charge you 50 bucks if you buy all of them in advance, just like the season pass that we have right now with Battlefield and what you have with Call of Duty Elite. I think that model continues into the next generation. The only thing I would actually question is, do the publishers and the developers and the manufacturers have the balls to raise game prices? I don't think so. I think consumers would react negatively to that. I think 60 is the price point, but we didn't hear that from Sony. Don't know what we're going to hear from Microsoft. Don't count on them lowering prices. I don't think there's a possibility of that. But I think 60 is probably the right price point, but don't know. They might raise it. Another question from the Game Trailer site from Winter Actual. My question is, why do publishers prefer to put a region lock on some games and prevent the people from buying their product, which will make these people pirate the game, instead of leaving the game region free and actually earning some cash? What a great question. I wish I had an answer. I have no idea. I don't get region locking at all. I think that was one of the questions yesterday at the PlayStation 4 press conference. People want to know, is this thing region locked or region free? I honestly couldn't tell you. I think that it's kind of a vestige of a couple of generations ago consoles. I think the newer consoles will work anywhere. I get some jurisdictions like Brazil where it's there are restrictions on how you can market games and what games can be sold, but I honestly don't get it. I don't know why. Obviously, the companies that make games are in the business of making money. They should want to sell their game in, the highest, greatest possible audience, the greatest addressable market. So you're right. I don't think that's why they region lock games. I think it's because of regulation. Some games just aren't permitted in some jurisdictions. And some things like, I don't even know if this is still the law, but in Germany, there was a law that you could not show blood. So if we have German watchers out there, I'd appreciate it if you post this. So when people get shot in games and normally would bleed, they bleed green. It's not blood, it's some green stuff. I don't know what it is, chlorophyll. So again, they have to change games, and I think they region lock the game that would violate some regulation in a particular region. That's the only reason I can think of, but honestly, it's a great question. I don't have an answer. All right, guys, thanks once again for joining me on, I don't know, this must be the 5,000th episode of Pach Attack. If you have questions, you can direct them to the link below, or you can ask questions on Twitter. If you would like a direct response from me, you have to follow me. I'm at Michael Pachter on Twitter. And if you ask a question on Twitter that you'd like handled on the show, please make sure to copy at Rohan Likes Pants, because Rohan really likes pants and he picks all the questions. We're blazing through this.
See this and other GT shows and game reviews on the GT Originals iOS app, available now on the App Store.
Clicking on the videos to the right of me. Wow.
And you can put right here.
To the right? To my right? To that right?
There we go.
That right, yeah. Okay. Hey, fellow babies, you can check out more Pach Attack videos on GameTrailers.com by clicking on the videos to the right of me. This is not a profit deal.